Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you too.
Dr. Mary, it's the day before your birthday.
Yes, my belly button birthday.
Yeah, your tummy button birthday.
Okay.
I grew up in a household where belly was absolutely, most certainly, never, ever, ever, ever used. You may as well swear. One time my mom gave Quinn a book about a polar bear mom and baby. And the mother had the audacity to tickle, I think the baby's name was Polo's belly, and she crossed it out and put tummy. It was a tightrope we ran at our house,
Wow.
tight ship. Anyway, it's almost your birthday, which is exciting. Lots of good things happened on your birthday.
Yeah, absolutely.
What happened on your 47th birthday, Dr. Mary?
My 47th birthday, I went into Prairie St. John, straight from Sanford Hospital.
Yes. And just tell the two-line story. I was just published in an online magazine last night. I'll post it tomorrow, so you'll hear a little bit more context about the story. But tell the two-line story of the woman who checked you in.
Yes, they do the standard question. She asked what my birthday was, and I actually said February the 16th. Oh, actually, I said today, 1970. And she looked at me, she said, "Oh, happy birthday." And then she said,
No, say your line first.
I said, "Yeah, it's a hell of a way to spend my 47th birthday." And she said, "Your 48th is going to be a lot better."
She said, think about it. You always tell that story wrong.
No, I don't.
Yes, because what she said was, yes, but what a way to start your 48th year.
Well, yeah.
Which is so incredible. Talk about a half empty versus half full.
Yeah, and she didn't even skip a beat.
That's
the bit I do remember.
It was just a beautiful moment. I was sick as a dog. I was sicker than I was when I had COVID in 2020, and I was very sick with COVID. I thought I was probably dying in 2017. And so I was sitting there, I had a mask on. I was barely even able to sort of function. And when she said that, it gave me my first inkling that there might actually be some hope for what we were dealing with. So I really have a lot of appreciation for February 16th.
That was an interesting day, but she was absolutely right. My 48th, my 49th, my 50th, my 51st. And I'll tell you Thursday how my 52nd went.
Yes. So then 2 years ago, we were in Bath, England to see your favorite artist with your sister and brother-in-law, our sister and brother-in-law. So that was tremendously fun.
Yes, it was.
It's funny to think about, people were talking about COVID 2 years ago in England, but this is what they kept saying. Cases of COVID-19 have doubled from 4 to 8.
Dun, dun, dun.
There were 8 cases on February 15th, 2020 in England, 8 known cases. And we were laughing about it, not laughing at the people who had COVID, but just laughing about the fact that they were making such a big deal out of it. Can you even imagine if we'd had any idea what the next 2 years were?
I actually remember thinking, because they said it was a SARS virus, I thought, well, it was contained in China when it came out a decade ago, and 1 million people got infected, and I think about 500,000 people died. I thought, well, it's a tragic disease, but I thought it's going to be contained like the last time. That's famous last words there.
Yeah, good thing nobody asked us to go on national television and make our great predictions, which is surprising because I have such a virology background.
Yes, I mean, I have been declared an expert in carbohydrate structures, not virology. So there you go.
And as I like to say, I did play a pediatrician once on TV, so I'm basically a doctor. But whatever, we could not have predicted this. So we go into your 2022 birthday with a lot of gratitude for many, many things. So we're using today, I bet you don't know what I titled this episode, Dr. Mary.
I absolutely have no idea.
Well, it's a little bit in honor of you. Ready?
Okay.
When Worlds Collide.
That is a great movie. You should watch it. It's fantastic.
It is your birthday, Eve.
We should watch that tonight.
I might concede that. Anyway, Dr. Mary and I have very different movie views, but
actually, I get nervous. I love 50s movies, but and I made this mistake because I got a movie wrong, and I bought a movie on Blu-ray when it first came out. I told Dana it was great. Long story short, the trouble with 50s sci-fi movies is how they portray the women. And when I remember the movies, the thought of them being the way they're portrayed didn't really dawn on me. So I'm now a little nervous about the women in When Worlds
As
Collide,
you should
to
be. At any rate, back to the subject at hand, Dr. Mary.
Yes.
This Thursday, the 17th, is the final day to sign up for my Rediscover Your Spark retreat. So here's the link you can go to find it. Let me pull it up for you. danadelval.com/blog. And the reason that I am showing you this is because I think there's actually some really powerful overlaps between the work that we do with Daily Dose and the work that I'm doing in this particular retreat, just with people who identify as women, but often with women and men, around rediscovering your spark. So if you've paid any attention to what I've been doing, you know, I had this whole work called Personal Systems Disruption, which my coach, Jess Buchanan, and I have renamed because we realized that actually didn't really work. So Rediscover Your Spark, the premise is very similar, but it's a different mindset. So Dr. Mary, you're going to pretend that you are the host and I'm the guest, and you're going to ask me some questions about why we're talking about this today on Daily Dose.
Okay, so Dana, what's the weather like where you are?
Dr. Mary, stop it.
Okay, so here's a frequently asked question, some frequently asked questions. Who is a Rediscover Your Spark retreat actually for?
In this instance, just for people who identify as women.
So tell us, what does this retreat schedule look like?
It's Saturday, Sunday, February 26th and 27th, virtual, Central Standard Time, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sunday, with lunch breaks and other breaks, writing breaks. It's not a slog 7 to 3.
I don't feel like I want to do this work with a million other people. How many people are actually going to be on this course?
Well, you can't do this work at all, Dr. Mary, because you do not identify as a woman.
I do not.
But
I did play one on TV.
No, you did not. 10 women. We have room for 5 more. So really 5 extraordinary women coming from Fargo, Minneapolis, Arlington, Virginia, and New York City.
I'd like to do this work, but I am completely worn out by Zoom. Is there any alternative?
No, not now. There will be someday. Let me just say this. We're all worn out by Zoom. But this work is so energizing that I do not believe you will get to the end of it and think, oh, now I need a weekend to recover from my weekend. I really don't. It's gentle. It's inviting. It's encouraging. It's challenging. It's stimulating. It's all of the kinds of things that actually I think you will leave so grateful that you did the work, you won't even really remember you were on Zoom.
I have inadvertently overheard some conversations of this retreat in the past, and just to tell you, from what I've overheard, it's a fantastic experience for all considered. You can actually hear the excitement from the other end of the Zoom call. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
That's nice.
So 2 more questions, I promise. My dream is pretty small. I don't want to change the world. I just want to make a small shift in my own life. Is this the right retreat for me?
Yes. And here's why. When I put this together in November of 2020, I put it together based on my own experience. And I didn't really know who was going to show up, or if anyone was going to show up, what they were going to want, what they were going to be thinking about. And it has proven valuable for people who are newly out of college, people who are mid-career, young parents, people who are thinking about retirement, people who are in retirement. Here's a group I didn't expect. Retired people who say, I've had this great career. I've got this next chapter. I'm not ready to just retire in the truest sense of the word, where I sort of just fade off into the sunset. I have all this experience, all of these thoughts and time, and often resources of other kinds. I want to apply them to something. This has been really helpful. And what's been most interesting to me about that group is that mostly what they've figured out for themselves are somewhat small things. One woman figured out how to write more interesting travel journals so that when she truly got to a point in her life where she was actually retired, as in not, traveling, not being very active outside of her home, she would have those journals to go back to as a touchstone for this period of her life, which was between a very heavy medical practice and that sort of last phase of life. Another woman wanted to build more gardening and exercise into her life. Another woman wanted to get home from her job before 7 p.m. So you can have very small dreams, or you can say, I want to just upend the entire table and start over with something huge and audacious. We had a young woman leave her job. She and her husband moved halfway across the country to take a new job. We had another young woman who realized that what she wanted to do, so she grew up in India, lived and went to college in America, had a job in the middle of America. She's now in graduate school in England. She discovered that that was her next passion. So it's small to large. It's not about, well, one person's dream has much more value than somebody else's. It's as valuable to want to think about how to be a better journal writer as it is to upend your life dramatically.
Good answer. So one final question, and there's always seems a lot of people seem to have elephants in their rooms, but here's an example of it. How much is this going to cost?
$12 million.
That's a big elephant.
It's $500.
But what do you get for $500?
Let me say this. Later today, I'm going to pick up the workbook that I've put together. So in previous retreats, there have been 4 worksheets, which I felt pretty proud of. I figured out how to get my logo on, and one of them had some circles on it. Technology.
I remember that one.
Yeah, graphic design is not my strength. I took those 4 worksheets, and from them, my coach just said, if you want to do this work seriously, you have to have a workbook. So let me show you a workbook that I have from a previous online thing that I did. This is from my spring coach, Laura Gassner-Otting. You can see beautifully designed. Whoops, it's so hard to do this backwards. Questions, narrative, other prompts, those kinds of things. So my 4 little worksheets went from 4 pages to an 88-page workbook, which I am incredibly proud of. So I'm picking those up today. You get a beautiful handmade mug from Fermi Studios. You get a candle from another local artist, Stephanie. Can't think what her business name is right this second. You get a beautiful pen. You get a beautiful little notebook. You get some additional things. You get a pound of Stambino's coffee, or beautiful black or green tea, or hot cocoa. There's all kinds of gifts that come to you before the retreat ever starts. I read Priya Parker's book, The Art of Gathering. I was so struck by her notion that if you are inviting people to a space for a purpose, and there's always a purpose, then set the stage before they ever walk through the door. So that's the purpose of this pre-retreat package. You will be set long before we ever gather on Saturday, February 26th.
That doesn't seem like meaningless swag. That's pretty impressive.
Yes, I hate meaningless swag. Please don't give me some stupid plastic thing with your logo on it so that I can just throw it out. I do not want
let
that.
The dog chew on it or something.
Yeah, I want swag that's actually got value to me. And I believe that this does. The number one comment that I hear from people who've taken these retreats, above and beyond just how excited they are about not only the work that they do in the 2 days, but the plan that they have to go forward, which gives them actionable items for 3 days, 3 months, and 3 years. So they're excited about the plan. They're excited about the work they've uncovered. They're excited about the new network, and they love the pre-retreat. And they've never even gotten the workbook. Whoever takes this retreat will be the first group to get the workbook, this beautiful, beautiful workbook that Giraffic Media designed for me. I'm really excited about it. So 5 more spots. I have 5 incredible women coming, and she told me I could do this, so I'm going to. Jessica Buchanan is one of them. So if you've heard me talking about her, if you've read her book, Impossible Odds, she's the woman who in 2011 was taken hostage by Somali land pirates and held for 93 days before SEAL Team 6 rescued her. Her story is unbelievable. She's taking the retreat. So maybe you're mildly curious about what I've put together, but you really want to meet Jessica? Come and spend 2 days meeting Jessica and the 4 other equally amazing women. This is not a superstar sighting. Jessica happens to be one of 5 extraordinary women coming to the retreat.
All right, so I've got one more question.
Okay.
Would you be doing any more of these in the future, do you envision?
We'll have to see. It's hard to say. I hope so, because now I've put all this work and effort into the workbook. I hope so. And certainly we will open it back up again to men. We've had men go through almost every session that I've done in the past, and they continue to find it valuable too. You can find all this information and so much more at danadelval.com/blog. Go there. Dr. Mary.
Yes, ma'am.
Happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you.
It's very exciting.
Thank you.
Yes.
It is.
Yes, a lot of people don't get to 52.
Yeah.
So you got to celebrate every one of them. If you are, let me just put in this daily dose plug. If you are somebody who's put your life on hold, either because you are on the other side of addiction or because you're married to an addict, whether they are struggling or past it, or you have a child, or you have it in your life, I think the Rediscover Your Spark retreat is the perfect place to come and figure out, well, what do I do now that my life isn't consumed with either my own or somebody else's addiction journey?
It would be maybe a value if we could, if you would consider setting one up purely for the spouses of addicts.
Sure. But everybody has struggles in their life. If this one has been consuming you, it's a beautiful time to come and figure out what's next. So thanks for indulging me, letting me talk about Rediscover Your Spark on Daily Dose. On Thursday, we will be back live with Kayla Stenstrom, wife of last week's guest, Kevin, whose story was great. If you haven't listened to it yet,
thank you again, Kevin.
Go back and listen to Kevin before Thursday, and then get ready to join us on Thursday at 8:30 live with Kayla, where you can ask her questions, and we're looking forward to that conversation. So happy day. Enjoy your Tuesday. Hope you had a great Valentine's Day, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you Thursday.
Bye.